Welcome. Foul language warning. There is swearing involved in some of this, just giving you a heads up. Now, as for the game itself, this is Adam Stark's riddles. These are my original riddles that I have made and composed, coming straight directly from my lyrics verbatim, going all the way back from 2007 to the present time. Now, don't worry, fear not, this does not have anything to do with rap or hip-hop at all, so you don't have to even be a fan of that to enjoy this. I'm just a really talented writer, so I managed to take a lot of different parts of my lyrics and my multiple literal meanings and stuff to put them together, and I decided I could make riddles out of it, where there is going to be missing key letters in the parts of the actual lyric that contains the answer that you need to figure out, okay? And so the way this is going to work is I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to show you the lines, okay? But of course, I am going to blank out letters in between the answer. And then I will play the audio clip of the actual rap being performed as it is originally. And then after hearing that, you try to figure out what the answer is. What is the missing words based on the number of missing letters I visually show you with an underline underneath it in between the letters, okay? So keep in mind that the words that are in parentheses and the words that are also behind the /, those are not said out loud in the line. That is just the hint to get the audience to understand the multiple literal meanings in these, okay? And so that's the clue there. So I'm going to play the audio clips on each of these, and then scroll down to show the full thing, in full, the answer, and for each one of these. Sometimes there's going to be more than one word to fill in, and then you can see how much you do it. Now, if you want to play it like you score 1 per word, or 1 point if you get them all right, whatever, that is entirely up to you how to play. And also feel free to pause this, rewind this if you ever have to, if you feel like I'm going too fast or whatever needs to be done, so you can enjoy this experience. All right. Also, just to note, there is some slang verbiage used here, like, for example, your, you are, that's slang for your. I don't use it too much, but once in a while. All right, let's get started here. I'm going to play the audio clip and keep scrolling down to show all the answers.
You try to play the part of a rapper. I didn't even audition to rap this dope. Adam Stark is instinctively stealing your fame, so the outcome is snatch your roll.
Hint for the bottom one. Think of another word for steal.
So the outcome is snatch your roll. Guy lost his life due to a disloyal friend. It's a unique tale. His treacherous double-crossing buddy told him a bad exit on purpose after the illegal street sale. The rail next to the ocean killed him after running out of the sandy trail. So what's the causes of death? The beach rail.
Hint, the top one, the first word is a place.
So what's the causes of death? The beach rail.
More stab wounds to armpits and you'll see the blood increases. More stab wounds to armpits and you'll see the blood increases.
Accept my top spot and listen when I pass my words. You should cherish the code. Anyone else stepping in, I'll cut off oxygen to kill the king's replacements. No more heir to the throne.
The hint for the top word is king's replacements.
No more heir to the throne. Don't tell on me for the 328 victims. Just pretend this face is innocent like Abe Lincoln. Just pretend this face is innocent like Abe Lincoln. Ponder, could there be any accomplices? More than 2 types of DNA discovered? Could one suspect have handled the violent act, and one was helping as a newcomer? Let's say there was vomit at the scene, far from the rest of it. The DNA of it was not the violent accomplice, based on the analysis evidence. Tell the attacker about his buddy being placed at the crime scene to hopefully get a confession. Hence, his forensic evidence of that is the barf remnants.
A hint for the bottom one. Another word for buddy.
His forensic evidence of that is the barf remnants. Let's say a death had suspicious timing which led to financial gain, as far back as a long time ago with these ample claims. Insurance money is always suspicious, and its beneficiary a criminal seized the money from. Both meanings. Debt can be cumbersome, and its beneficiary a criminal seized the money from. Both meanings. Debt can be cumbersome, Consider an expert to perform a handwriting analysis. This will help you understand how the case balances, as it becomes clear on the insurance claim who actually did sign the name given on it as accurate. Find out if this evidence will help with the trial for the big money obtained from the victim that was killed. See if the signatures are legit forgeries to help decide guilt. See if the signatures are legit forgeries to help decide guilt. The inventory coin count came to 10 cents and wasn't layered at all, it was 1 dime mentioned. The inventory coin count came to 10 cents and wasn't layered at all, it was 1 dime mentioned. Thinking about my run-on sentences, people being so close and crammed together here, and it being so slow and totally unbearable, this line spacing is terrible. Thinking about my run-on sentences, people being so close and crammed together here, and it being so slow and totally unbearable, this line spacing is terrible.
reprehensible behavior of mine causing public outrages next. Burning my table down with hot wax sticks made him vexed. Witnesses testified about Adam's scandals. Witnesses testified about Adam's scandals. I'm lost when I watch TV anymore. It's scorching hot and sunny now, and I'm listening to this lady saying it's cold and windy of sorts. Meteorologist who's untruthful. Now, how would I classify to people what to be listening for? I'm thinking, here falls weather reports. Hint, one of the three meetings has a capital F. Speaking of weather, time for me to be the leader I will proudly proclaim. The atmosphere has to appear foggy and wet. Allow me to explain. I will start my leadership in our darkest hour, so the sky needs to be cloudy to rain. So the sky needs to be cloudy to rain. Some will try and stop me from being a flying superhero in a villainous way. All I have to do is leave here and get to my costume drawer, and then they'll say, I really hope Adam doesn't get to escape. Hint, the key word for the bottom one is superhero. I really hope Adam doesn't get to escape. I'm right-handed. If it could talk, it would insult my left hand and proclaim its status that it covets. Talk to the left hand and say, between us, I'm the toughest. Between us, I'm the toughest. To make my getaway, I stole my enemy's shitty car as well as its remnants. He fought back and cut my hand. As a result, I bled from this. I converted its moving parts into motion for retribution. That is describing the power of vengeance. Hint for the top one, moving parts into motion. Hint for the bottom one, retribution. That is describing the power of vengeance. The next thing was an awkward drug test. Even though I was completely sober and had become stressed, he peeped over the cover and at my privates while I filled my pee cup. Checked the amount. Now, I should complain about this awkward incident mixed with those eyes making a mean mug. I mean, depending on who you are, what would you do in this situation if all of a sudden eyes peek up? I mean, depending on who you are, what would you do in this situation if all of a sudden eyes peek up? An egg rolls down the hill. An egg rolls down the hill. The banquet's on me. The banquet's on me. Guess that makes me selfish. Guess that makes me selfish. I was caught in narcotics sales. I was stopped in my trail. What happened was when I lied on my resume to forge it some, ended up a salesman and a drug dealer at a rug emporium. I stuffed the stuff and stuffing for the customers when they rolled up. I was arrested for both crimes committed. I illegally sold rugs. I was arrested for both crimes committed. I illegally sold rugs. Next crime I did commence committing was a money scam. Counterfeit bills in excess of 100 grand. There was two detectives. One believed I did it, and one didn't. The woman thought I was guilty, wouldn't accept my hard bluff. The man said that my type couldn't fit it. He said the harshest stuff, that I couldn't pull it off because I wasn't smart enough. I was standing at a suspect lineup. He thought I was honest, that I didn't commit this crime, thus I didn't make an illegal profit. Her witness came in and totally croaked, said I was the one with the counterfeit funds. The girl detective then just totally gloats, points at me and my money saying that's a faker and see I told you so. Hint, they both have to do with something not real. And as for the bottom one, what is another word for counterfeit money? The girl detective then just totally gloats, points at me and my money saying that's a faker and see I told you so.
Another crime was a different scamming action. I owned a housing project and became greedy with a passion. I lied about why I'm about to hike everyone's rent up a couple fractions. Never been out of the US, so I thought of a new quest. I used the extra money to travel abroad with it. I'd go to Europe and Asia, both paid all expense. I was caught and I was stopped and I got upset. Reporter asked me one question to type up on the press. I heard about your plan. Why would you want to try 2 continents?
Hint for the top one, people legally living somewhere. Hint for the bottom one, Europe and Asia.
I heard about your plan. Why would you want to try 2 continents? Might stab you all in the backs, and where the pieces I cut off, I could make an arrangement. What's Adam thinking? Making vertebrae slit.
Hint for the top one, a part of your back, plural.
What's Adam thinking? Making vertebrae slit. A drug smuggler's teacher could train me how to keep the most dangerous stuff out of sight. They'd say I got the meth hid. A drug smuggler's teacher could train me how to keep the most dangerous stuff out of sight. They'd say I got the meth hid. I bought your aquarium for freshwater fish. I'm so glad, but only one kind so far to surface. So for now, I'll say thank you for the purchase.
Hint for the bottom one, a specific type of fish, plural.
I bought your aquarium for freshwater fish. I'm so glad, but only one kind so far to surface. So for now, I'll say thank you for the purchase. But you say that I'm bad? I already know my pen is evil, but here's what's next. I'm in progress of trying to make it good and study telekinesis, so for now, I can't make my pen righteous yet.
Hint for the bottom one, you would be using telekinesis on the pen to do that. What if only the highest church authorities can get into heaven despite our beliefs, though? We can reach to try and unlock heaven's door all we want, but it's only so high our keys can go. But it's only so high our keys can go. Besides you, I got another enemy in my pocket. Everyone knows to keep my enemies close, so here's the prospect. My knife ain't my friend, but I concentrate and watch as it wants to give you hickeys. My focus is on your neck. Hint for the top one, hickeys. Hint for the bottom one, concentrate. My focus is on your neck. The same knife I just used, I'll slime with lube, freezing it into your organs like hypothermia. The same knife I just used, I'll slime with lube, freezing it into your organs like hypothermia. Oh, Justice, it's rubbish. If something's wrong, you just nod. Why clap for a corrupt cop if he tries to hold applause? Why clap for a corrupt cop if he tries to hold applause? We may look exactly alike, but you're insignificant, making you just a mere reflection. Hint for the top one, insignificant. We may look exactly alike, but you're insignificant, making you just a mere reflection. The end. Thank you very much for playing, everybody. Let me know how you scored in the comments section, or message me. I'd like to know, and how many got right, and which ones were the hardest and the trickiest, and which ones were no problem at all, and everything. And just keep in mind that I have a ton more of these. I could make several more of these, but I wanted to see how this project turned out. I wanted to see if people like this, if they enjoy stuff like this. I could do plenty more, because like I said, I've been in the rap game 10 years plus. I have tons of literal multiple meanings and stuff where I could keep on adding to this type of a series if that's what people like. If it's worth my time, I can always make more. Thank you very much for playing, and I'd love to hear your feedback.